Welcome back, everybody. We are back with some Super Smash Bros. My name is Ben Kincaid, joined by Avery Giesman. We have Smash Bros. For you today, so very excited to jump into those matchups. We have playoffs. This is the final week of the season coming through. Now playoffs and qualifying for those regionals. So, yeah, very exciting stuff to come through. We have the bracket up and ready that we can take a look at real quick. We're starting with the semifinals. Quarters have already happened. We had some forfeits. Lake Norman beating Cabarrus Tech, and then now to face another Cabarrus Tech in the semifinals here. So that is the first matchup that we will be looking at. Avery, what are we feeling today?
I mean, nothing but excitement, Ben. Just look at what we got here. Getting to the nitty-gritty, really, of the bracket phase. I mean, you have the group stage, right? And a lot of times in group stages, sometimes you can do just enough to get by, right? You get by to the playoff bracket, and that's where the magic really happens, Ben. This is do or die. This is a single elimination bracket, so if you lose here, you are going home. And you know these players, they don't want to go home. So here in the semifinals, you know you're almost to the finish line. The group stage isn't that big, and then the bracket isn't that big either. So you only have to win one match to reach that grand final. And, of course, this isn't the last stage in the competition. There's still more to come after that grand final. So you want to secure that spot for sure. So we should see the pinnacle of gameplay tonight because there's really all to fight for.
Yeah, there's a lot of stuff on the line, qualifying for that regional, and then also just getting to this grand finals and being able to have that championship under your belt. A lot of these high school students are seniors. Some of them are new into the school as well, so having that kind of camaraderie and that last hurrah for seniors and the upcoming power and presence of some of these younger players as well. To note for the semifinals is going to be a best of 3, and then the grand finals will be a best of 5. So we do have a lot of Smash Bros. On the way. So very excited to jump into it very shortly.
Yeah, we're really excited for that. I mean, the format has been the same as you recall from the group stage that, you're going to play 3 players maximum, and they're all going to play best of 3s. So you have your 1 play the opposing school's 1, and the winner of that set is going to earn their school 1 point towards the series. And then if you win the next set then with your 2 versus the opposing 2, then you're going to go ahead and win that match in the semifinal. And then what we're going to add in that grand final is just the 1 more series with the 3rd player, and then obviously games 4 and 5 could happen if need be. So, yeah, the format's going to be fairly similar, but, I mean, looking towards, the continual bracket after we go through this bracket and more into, like, regionals, nationals, that kind of idea, in those brackets, it's a lot of potential to be in-person competition, right? And I know that's something that especially I would look forward to if I was in the shoes of these Smash players, because that's something that, like you said before, they may not have ever had access to. Coming in as high school players, they're not going to have a lot of tournament experience potentially, so that could be a really great opportunity for them.
Now we do have game 1 ready to go. We will jump into things right away. We have the King DDD. Not King DDD. That is King K.
One of the kings.
One of the kings. And Jigglypuff to start things off for Lake Norman and Cabarrus Tech.
Wow, look at this matchup, Ben. Not one I would have expected to see by any means. These are 2 very fun characters, and then I cannot wait to see how they're piloted by our friends here at Cabarrus Tech and Lake Norman. And in the 1 slot as well. Definitely not something to be expected. But we're going to start off with Lake Norman's K-Rool player with a strong start here on this Jigglypuff. Jigglypuff not a heavy character. When you get to these these high percents, this could be a very dangerous spot versus King K-Rool.
And Jigglypuff does do a good job off the stage, though, getting back. Has a very, very strong recovery. Pretty much similar to Kirby's recovery. The parry coming through there as well from the King K-Rool. That belly, gold-plated belly there, able to deflect any damage coming their way.
Yeah, that's a great option. You can see K-Rool finding himself off the stage here. This is a really strong spot for Jigglypuff because as we were talking about how she has a strong recovery, she has such a strong edge guarding game as well. And with a vulnerable recovery like King K-Rool, that can be something that she can certainly exploit. But not going to be able to exploit it just yet as K-Rool does get back to the stage with that back air. Such a strong move. Doesn't even need to land the spike hitbox for it to do massive amounts of knockback. And yeah, you can see Jigglypuff just so willing to jump around the stage, make K-Rool come to her. But K-Rool's been able to find his hits, and he can stay alive for a long time as well. It can be hard to find these committal killing options from Jigglypuff.
Yeah, K-Rool just a little bit heavier of a character, especially compared to Jigglypuff, right? I mean, you can just look at the sheer size. It's going to be harder to throw this big crocodile off the stage, whereas this little Jigglypuff will go flying if heavy smash attacks do connect. We're going to see the grab coming through as well. The King K-Rool still on this first stock. As I say that, the first stock is gone, but was still able to rack up some good percentage here before that first stock gets knocked out of the way.
Yeah, some great contests here from Jigglypuff. You got to find your options on when you can hit King K. Rool. He has a lot of lag on these really committal swings that he has in his kit. Sure, he has some quick moves, but a lot of K. Rool's options are very committal. So it's up to the Jigglypuff to kind of float around in this K. Rool space until he can find those attacks, until it's his turn to play. And when this K. Rool player is throwing out a lot of these belly reflects, like we were talking about earlier, Ben, it can be hard to make those contests happen because you have to wait out that counter if you want to hit K. Rool in his belly. And you certainly can do so, but it's a lot harder when you want to make that play happen when you already have Jigglypuff in the air and just trying to find the ground, but the forward tilt's going to find you first. King K. Rool and Lake Norman up another stock.
Jigglypuff now finding themselves will be able to put the King K. Rool to sleep. The side smash coming through will connect and we'll be able to find that kill as well. Now we're tied up one stock apiece, starting here at 0%, but King K. Rool already 19% with that one aerial hit onto the Jigglypuff. Very, very light character. Takes a lot of damage very, very quickly.
Yes, and although you take a lot of damage, taking that last stock was very big. Able to land the sleep there and then get a nice charge smash attack, but getting buried in the ground. Great mash here from Jigglypuff. Got to get out of those barriers as quick as you can. You don't want K. Rool to get a follow-up there. And another Sing! This might be a rest here, but no, gonna go for the forward smash. I don't think that's quite gonna do it onto the heavy King K. Rool. If he goes for a rest there, that might have been it for the stock, but King K. Rool gonna count his lucky stars there. Jigglypuff not willing to go for the committal option. Gonna throw out the belly reflect, but Ben hits him in the head instead of the belly, and King K. Rool is going to be vulnerable in that spot. What a well-spaced back air there from Cabarrus Tech.
Yeah, I mean, Cabarrus Tech just able to pull that one out of a hat, right? It looked like King K. Rool was going to really be able to have that one locked down, but those two sleeps back-to-back, able to rack up that percentage and then play with that momentum that gave that player. I mean, Cabarrus Tech was able to pull that one seemingly out of nowhere.
Yeah, I mean, let's talk about those Sings, that ability that Jigglypuff has to put her opponent to sleep. When you want to attack King K. Rool and he's going for these armored tilts on the ground, you can't contest those. You try to hit King K. Rool, he's just going to hit you back with armor. But if you use a move like Sing that goes through armor, you're not going for an attack. You're kind of going for a pseudo grab of sorts. That's going to go right through that armor. King K. Rool's going to fall asleep, and you can get something like a free forward smash, a free rest. And those are going to be really big options for Jigglypuff here when you want to kill King K. Rool, or any character for that matter, early. If you can't land those edge guards, that's going to be your option, is those Sings. And we were able to see them work incredibly in this set. I mean, that was without a doubt the reason that Cabarrus Tech was able to take that first game there. And, you know, the King K. Rool from Lake Norwood was doing some great jobs there, contesting the Jigglypuff in the air and surviving off stage. It was not an easy game to play. But, I mean, when you fall asleep twice at 60 and that spells your stock, that's trouble.
We will be hopping into the second game of this first set. Cabarrus Tech already up 1-0 in this initial set here. But, I mean, King K. Rool, they had good presence, but they just weren't able to find those edge guards quite the same as this Jigglypuff was able to do. You can already see Jigglypuff putting together a little bit of an aerial string now, being able to put together yet another one. The Jigglypuff, again, coming out swinging unlike game one.
Yeah, this Jigglypuff loves to float around in this airspace. You can see the King K. Rool already going for these reversals onto the edge guard. I mean, if you can contest this Jigglypuff while she's in the air, she really gets locked down. It's up to the Jigglypuff player to figure out a way to navigate this airspace in a safe way. And you can see how willing this Crocodile is to patrol the ground, to patrol that air. And it's hard to land these aerial attacks onto a King K. Rool that's moving around like this, that's swinging so often, that's willing to counter with the belly reversal. So it's a really difficult task for Jigglypuff to try to continue to play in this airspace when there's so many attacks coming out from King K. Rool, but it's being navigated pretty well right now.
Yeah, 86%, now 110. This Jigglypuff is in grave danger. One attack, most likely the cannonball might do it. Won't be able to knock the Jigglypuff out of the stage, but that side B coming through. The little sprint attack and the little jump forward that King K. Rool is able to do, able to get the job done, but Jigglypuff able to answer back without taking any percentage on that second stock.
Yeah, great retaliation there from Jigglypuff, knowing that you have those vulnerability frames when you come back from that Angel platform, and able to use that to their advantage and able to secure that stock, and a nice initializing combo here coming out from the Jigglypuff, already up to 84. You can see when these hits do connect, Jigglypuff can rack up the damage, and when you're playing against a big body like King K. Rool, he has to eat a lot of this. You know, although those attacks can eat those initial hits, once you get the first hit, then the next hits can come rather easily. It's hard for K. Rool to get out of those situations, but he loves going for these kind of dash attacks to cover that ground space, and I really love that idea for King K. Rool, because a big aspect of that dash attack is the armor. and that's going to be able to control that landing space quite well as Lake Norman continues to rack up the damage without losing the stock. Will he be able to punish the Sing? Yes, they will, and almost with the forward smash, but he's going to eat a back air for that. Off the stage goes King K. Rool. Brilliant reflector there. Going to have to be a little bit more careful on these edge guards, but yeah, the pressure right here, Ben, is just swinging back and forth.
Yeah, both players now in a very high percentage, both in the danger zone. That 162% on this K-Rool will be enough to knock them out. But again, the K-Rool able to find that kill. Now if this Jigglypuff is able to find the return, the retaliation, again without taking any percentage, that would be huge. And then you find yourself back in the position of game number 1 of this set. Back to 1 stock, back at 0 apiece.
Yeah, there it is, Ben. As soon as Lake Norman's K-Rool takes a stock, the Jigglypuff is able to retaliate right away. And I know the Jigglypuff is thinking, all right, mid% into Sing time. And I know that that's what this Jigglypuff is going to be looking for. That's how we've been able to take these stocks, other than that invulnerable back air off the Angel platform. So if we can land a big Sing here, we are definitely getting within that forward smash range. And the forward smashes are indeed flying, Ben. Won't quite kill either party just yet. But you know the K-Rool also going to be looking for those dash attacks to cover the landing space, able to control that air and that where Jigglypuff wants to land. But if you spend all your time off stage, you won't be able to cover where the Jigglypuff wants to land. And this is where Jigglypuff thrives. Look at this ledge trap, Ben. Ooh. Oh, and the edge guard as well. Going to push the K-Rool out to the point of no return. That's going to be an easy forward air, Ben, and that's going to be the stock. Cabarrus Tech is going to take set number 1.
I mean, the Jigglypuff in that second game was in complete control. The edge guard was so strong coming through, especially towards the end. They're able to find that forward air for that kill. But the combo, the strings, the aerial combos coming through from the Jigglypuff, the K-Rool just wasn't able to keep up. The big body, a big target to hit with this very small character of Jigglypuff, and King K-Rool just wasn't able to really get a grasp and any kind of combo under their belt as well.
Yeah, I mean, we saw that we were able to contest some of those initial hits from Jigglypuff, but as soon as K-Rool got into disadvantage, that's when the game gets hard. When the Jigglypuff is floating around all in her space, like sometimes you can contest with things like dash attack, things like forward tilt, and it's hard for Jigglypuff to land that initial hit. But now when you end up off stage, when you end up in the air, now K-Rool has to play this, oh, I'm a big body and I'm trying to recover versus Jigglypuff game. And that's a difficult game to play because you have this big body, you have the propeller on the top of your up B, but your sides are extremely vulnerable, which is why when you land that initial hit and K-Rool has to recover at this more wide angle, that's going to give Jigglypuff a very free aerial there to end it off. And I'm really glad that Cabarrus Tech is able to have the confidence to go for that edge guard there at the end, because lesser Jigglypuff players will let the K-Rool get back to the stage there, enter a last hit scenario knowing they have the lead. No, clean up the stock right there. Don't let K-Rool play with this rage. Finish your feud when you can. And that was expertly played by Cabarrus Tech.
Yeah, and on the side of this Cabarrus Tech player, the Jigglypuff, in that second game, we didn't see the Sing come out at all,
we didn't.
right? The Sing was the saving grace of that first game, but in the second game, it was just all aerials, all very simple strings being put together by this Jigglypuff, and just were able to keep that ball rolling, find those aerials, and just keep the momentum in their favor. K-Rool had a lot of opportunities to get some of these stocks, was tied up again in that 1-1 scenario, but Jigglypuff, again, was just playing that distance in that range and the map just slightly better than that K-Rool, able to keep them off of that map and then find those edge guards to really seal the deal in that first set.
Yeah, that's perfectly said, Ben. I mean, that's exactly what we witnessed. That's good Jigglypuff play. You don't want to have to rely on those things. That's a great option for Jigglypuff. They can lead into some really powerful attacks. At the end of the day, it's a very slow move that's very difficult to land. So when you can rely on these more reliable kill options like Jigglypuff back air, which we were able to find for not only the first stock, but the second stock as well, right off of the Angel platform. You try to swing in an invincible Jigglypuff after she comes out from her stock, you're going to eat a back air. And we were able to find 2 clean stocks off of that at around 130, which can be a percentage range that K-Rool can live at. So if you get hit by that strong back air, that kind of range, you're gonna give up some potentially early stocks that could only otherwise be taken by big plays like that edge guard at the end, which we saw was going to be a much earlier kind of stock. So that's going to be the 2 big moments for that Jigglypuff, is being able to land those back airs when they really counted at that percent range where K-Rool just barely died twice to it, and then of course the big edge guard at the end. That was some great Smash Bros, Ben. I'm really happy with the K-Rool play as well. It's difficult to play against a Jigglypuff that's floating around, kind of playing her own game. It's hard when you get into disadvantage and you have to find a way out. It's very hard to recover, especially. So great Smash Bros all around. I Definitely don't think the 2-0 reflects what we just watched, but there's plenty more Smash to be played. Ben, bring us into game number 2 here.
So we got Cloud and Joker, one very, very fast character and one character that kind of plays some distance for a short time till that limit bar is built all the way up on this Cloud as well. Cabarrus Tech 1-0 now, just needing this last game, this last set to be able to secure that grand finals spot for the METROLINA division. Joker just trying to play this range, not opting to get too crazy just yet. And now we can see a possible string being put together, but a great shield coming through from Blaze there, able to avoid a lot of that damage and now put together some damage of their own.
Yeah, and on early Arsene coming out from Lake Norman at only 45% on this Joker. You don't really want the Arsene at these mid-ranges unless you're going to try to edge guard Cloud, but that's going to be a really big factor in this matchup. Cloud can definitely have a lot of trouble recovering versus Joker, and that's going to be Diamond and Lake Norman's key to victory here is can they get this Cloud off stage to edge guard him, because in the neutral, Cloud has a very big sword, and Joker kind of has to eat a lot of it. He can't contest that sword unless he hits Cloud and not the sword, and that's a very difficult space to play in because Cloud has some of the best range in the entire game. As we can see, Cabarrus Tech already trying to flail these forward smashes, trying to find an early stock onto Lake Norman. And this sword is difficult to contest. You have to use the movement of Joker. That is the big deal in this matchup, is that Joker can move around a lot more freely than Cloud can. He can have a lot more expressive of a game plan. I really hope to see that from Lake Norman, especially in these kind of ledge trap scenarios. But if you try to get a committal spot dodge out there, Cabarrus Tech gonna rip a forward smash, take an early stock. This is a very difficult spot to be in.
Yeah, Blaze now also has that limit bar fully charged up. That'll do a whole lot of damage if that one is able to connect. You can already see Diamond, this Joker, trying to avoid that from happening, but it will come through. But the Arsene coming out as well. The edge guard coming through from the Joker, trying to get off the edge there, trying to find that aerial edge guard, but just barely unable to get it. Blaze able to avoid that one.
Yeah, that was a fantastic air dodge here from Cabarrus Tech. Expertly timed. You don't want to air dodge before the opponent swings. And although you're going to get hit by a down smash there, you expect to die off that edge trap. You want to air dodge right when the opponent's about to hit you, and that's exactly what we saw from this Cloud player. Air dodges like that are how you're going to make it back to the stage versus such a potent edge guarder like Joker, and those are the kind of plays you're going to need to have if you're going to want to win this set. So I already love to see that from Cabarrus Tech coming out here, knowing the edge guard routes as Cloud. Going to be very important as we re-enter the stage game, where oftentimes it's hard for Joker to get in on this big sword. So let's see if Lake Norman can perhaps choose some more aggressive options here as he's trying to play this range game versus Cloud. That's not a winning battle.
Yeah, the range from Cloud, that little kind of sword swipe that they do with that green kind of beam that goes towards the enemy there has a lot of deceiving range, right? It goes a lot further than you think it will. This Cloud trying to charge up these smash attacks, just trying to find these finishing blows, charging up that limit bar as well. But this Joker still just trying to play so much range right now, not able to get these aerial strings together, which is something that Joker is so good at.
Yeah, Joker wants to be able to land these guns, but guns don't work at this long range. You have to play mid-range with your guns. That's how you're going to get the opponent to stop in their tracks. If you try to play long range with these guns, it's actually not going to net you any rewards. So you're giving Cloud this time to charge limit and to charge these forward smashes. Look at Cabarrus Tech just earning these very, very early stocks off of these smash taxes. These are not percents the Joker wants to die out, but when you land the strongest move in Cloud's kit, that is certainly going to take stocks, and very early. And now you can utilize that limit just to add damage, Ben, and making these comebacks versus Cloud. I mean, you have to edge guard him, and it's just not something that Lake Norman has been able to do. And the pressure just continues to continue on. Look at the run-up grab, Ben. The pressure even on this shield is incredible.
Yeah, this Blaze Cloud here able to play so much range and really keep Joker on this edge, able to get those grabs and then find these small strings of damage onto this Joker. The Arsene is out, but will finally run out the bar not long enough. We'll be able to find that up smash, a possible aerial, but the up smash from Blaze will be able to find it instead. 2 stocks to none. Cabarrus Tech looking to advance with one more game possibly here if Cloud is able to bring this one home and advance to those grand finals.
Yeah, and what do you do in that spot, Ben? Like, you look at Joker in that spot, you just lost Arsene, and you finally landed your up smash, and Cloud's certainly going to live that on a stage like Battlefield, and now you have to play no Arsene versus, in a last hit scenario, versus someone like Cloud, where if he rips up smash, you're going to die, and that's exactly what we just saw there. You know, you have an Arsene there just a little bit more, and you're going to be able to take that stock, and you're going to be able to open yourself up to potentially grab an early edge guard on Cloud, but when you have to play that last hit without Arsene, you're in big trouble, and that's exactly what we saw there. Love the Cloud play from Blaze, able to navigate these recoveries really well, able to navigate this defensive diamond really well, able to call out these defensive options with those really strong attacks like forward smash. We're going to need to see a bit of a change here from Lake Norman if they want to take this set. Is that a character switch? Is that a playstyle switch? Either could work, right? I mean, we see some great adaptations from these players, and we've also seen a lot of character swaps in these high school leagues. And I'm really excited to see what direction Lake Norman takes here, because a lot of the idea with Joker that this player had was to play at that range and play with those guns. I feel like if that's the game plan they want to try to implement versus Cloud, another character might be the option, because other characters do have the option to play the range versus Cloud. But if you're going to go Joker, you have to play up close, because if you're trying to play at the range of this sword or longer, like you said, that blade beat from Cloud, although you can get Arsene off of it, it's still going to rack up faster than your projectiles will. So you have to get up to this Cloud and make him make decisions up close. That's how you're going to get him off stage. That's how you're going to force him to make mistakes. And that's exactly what we're seeing from Diamond at the beginning of this game.
Yeah, Blaze already trying to find these side smashes. Diamond untouched so far, doing a great job at avoiding these side smashes. As I say that, though, almost evening that one up. Now we're back into this distance game, trying to build up that Arsene meter yet again. But I like Diamond's switch up of this playstyle, playing a little bit more close up and aggressive, and just trying to find more of these strings getting put together. The Arsene out, up, and available. The limit bar as well available for this Cloud.
Yeah, these two love to glow blue here on this very blue stage we have here, Penn. And yeah, this is a very blue matchup, because when you see blue, you better hope that your stock lives. Because watch out, Ben, because Arsene forward smash is coming for you. And, you know, don't knock 70%. That forward smash will cleanly take a Cloud stock at that percentage. Arsene is such a powerful comeback mechanic, as is Limit, as Blaze almost does have it himself here. And this is such a scary spot. Whoever can take this stock first is going to have a nice percentage lead and able to play this style of game, the pacing of game that they want to play, and that burst dash attack in the corner is surely going to take the stock. And now, as you can see, we start off the next stock with Limit, and now you have to play this last hit as Joker with, you know, no Arsene to your name. You have to find a clean smash attack here. So now is the time where Blaze can play that distance, and there's nothing Diamond can do about it. Diamond has to run in and make something happen. We see the down smash, we see the edge guard try to come out, but a nice high recovery from Blaze.
Yeah, Blaze able to find that recovery, find that damage, and interrupt that edge guard coming through from Diamond. That would have been disastrous if that one landed, but able to avoid it. The side smash coming through as well. Won't be able to connect. Diamond able to wait that one out and find a potential edge guard of their own, but they both go down instead. The recovery from Blaze unable to reach the ledge, and Diamond unable to get back in time after they're trying to find that edge guard. 2-1 now. The stocks in favor of Cabarrus Tech.
Yeah, I'm going to give Cabarrus Tech the benefit of the doubt there, Ben. I think Blaze may have gone for that intentional missed the ledge on the up B, because it covered the space where Joker wanted to recover. If Diamond went for a traditional angle there, he actually would have gotten spiked by the up B. So I think he tried to go for a bit more obtuse of an angle, we'll call it, to try to get around that up B. So stock trade there is exactly what you want if you're Cabarrus Tech. Hold this Joker at the ledge. Do not let them get back with Arsene, and already at half, and you know, you're just trying to rip the counters, but these forward smashes are coming in spades. You can't counter a move that isn't coming out, and the Arsene's already gone. Cabarrus Tech is looking to finish this off strong.
Yeah, Cabarrus Tech Blaze only 27%. Diamond in the red. The grab coming through as well, 115%. The side smash will connect. That will be the set. That'll be the series. Cabarrus Tech will be the other team advancing to this grand finals.
Yeah, Cabarrus Tech becomes the first team to advance to our grand finals. And yeah, what a performance from them. Love the Cloud here from Blaze, able to navigate these recoveries beautifully. And, you know, Lake Norman just not able to find a way off this ledge and around these forward smashes. I mean, if you get hit by one of those forward smashes, you are going flying, and we could see the strength of Cloud coming out here in spades. I mean, what a strong move those smash attacks are. They can be difficult to land, especially on a character that can move around the stage so fluidly like Joker. But if you're able to land them, you're going to earn some early stocks, and Cabarrus Tech looking to land those again in the grand finals. That's going to net them well.
Yeah, Cabarrus Tech being the first team, I was a little bit too invested in that
little
series.
ahead of yourself. Just a little.
A little bit ahead of myself. Yeah, we still have one more semifinal, so Cabarrus Tech, the first team to advance into this grand finals. They will await the winner of Northwest Cabarrus and Central Academy of Tech as we pull up the bracket here. A clean 2-0 coming through from Cabarrus Tech, but Lake Norman did not play bad by any means. They just weren't able to find these edge guards and these strings just as well as Cabarrus Tech was able to do so.
Yeah, I mean, great match, of course, and I'm excited to get into the next semifinal to see who's going to take them on. I mean, we got some strong contenders coming out here from Cabarrus Tech. That Cloud is looking really strong here, able to land those big attacks, and I'm excited to see what happens next.
Yeah, I'm very excited to see this Jigglypuff, to see what goes on in this one. We will be jumping into this next game here very, very shortly between Central Tech and Northwestern Cabarrus here. As we will jump in right away, it's going to be Chris P. back again, the Piranha Plant, and another Jigglypuff coming through from Northwestern Cabarrus.
Yeah, let's get right into this second semifinal, Ben. I mean, one thing for sure that I did not expect is a second Jigglypuff, Ben. Who decided to put both the ones on these Cabarrus teams as Jigglypuff players? But one thing that I'm really excited to see in this matchup, again, is the edge guarding, Ben. King K. Rool and Piranha Plant both having very vulnerable recoveries. And who loves to exploit vulnerable recoveries? It's going to be Jigglypuff. Those many jumps are going to allow you to get those potent aerials off the stage. And if you can give this Piranha Plant at these low percents, then the weight of Piranha Plant becomes so much less of a factor. But if you're spending the entire match off stage and disadvantage Jigglypuff as Chris P continues to patrol this stage, you're going to be in big trouble as well. And Jigglypuff going to die to these smash attacks of Piranha Plant very, very early. So you have to be very concerned navigating this airspace, as Piranha Plant has a tool that K. Rool does not, and that is that up smash. And I hope we see that from Chris P to make sure that this Jigglypuff is thinking when they're jumping.
Yeah, Crispy doing a good job at trying to play around this range and the aerial prowess that
big forward air.
The forward air, indeed. The Jigglypuff able to find that early kill. Crispy now just trying to find this smash attack without taking too much percentage on this second stock, but already a little bit of extra credit for this Jigglypuff. Rachel doing a good job at not losing this third stock fast.
Yeah, and this is incredible living here from Jigglypuff here on Northwest Cabarrus. I mean, we can see just the navigation in this air. Chris P cannot find a move to reach this Jigglypuff. You're trying to catch the shield here, and yeah, we are going to see a shield break there. Jigglypuff, the only character in the game to automatically die off of a shield break, but, you know, certainly anyone in the game is going to die at 120% there, but we love this pressure from this Jigglypuff here, especially off the stage. You can hit Piranha Plant in the head there like we saw on that first stock, and we can see this Jigglypuff again going for that head hit again here in the second stock. You can definitely tell they know what they're doing as far as edge guarding Piranha Plant. I hope we continue to see that, because Crispy is not able to get back to the stage, Ben. A ledge trap as well. Jigglypuff just with all the tools right now.
Yeah, Rachel's playing super, super well. The Patui able to land there for Chris P, just trying to get this second stock without losing too much, but Rachel's been doing a great job. The Patui again will land, doing a whole lot of damage. Now the edge guard coming through. The side smash will not come fast enough for Chris P. Jigglypuff able to find the aerials, not quite just yet, just barely missing out on a couple of those hits that could have been very, very dangerous for Chris P, but just barely able to avoid disaster.
Yeah, very creative pressure and another neutral air. That's what I'm talking about early stocks, Ben. You catch them with a strong air from Jigglypuff while you're off the stage, and you're in big, big trouble. And that's exactly what we saw there. What an excellent display of how to edge guard Piranha Plant with Jigglypuff. That's exactly what I wanted to see in this matchup. That's exactly what I wanted to see versus K. Rool as well. It's the exact same idea, Ben. When you play these, you know, lower tier characters that don't have these options on their recovery, that have hitboxes on them, like the head of Piranha Plant, like the side of King K. Rool, you can land like those neutral airs that kills at 60 on characters like Piranha Plant. I mean, that is a really big deal. I mean, you can see that in the first stock and the second stock, or in the third stock and the second stock, you finally get on the stage and then you get ledge trapped. I mean, what a performance there from Rachel the Jigglypuff. That was exactly the kind of Jigglypuff I wanted to see. And look at the aerial pressure as well, locking Chris P in the shield. I mean, Piranha Plant having access to maybe up smash out of shield, but that's going to be your best bet. But, I mean, with the spacing and the creative pressure that we're seeing out of Rachel, it's really dynamic and difficult to punish. So I was really impressed with that gameplay, and I hope we see it again.
Yeah, I mean, Chris P on the other side as well, playing that edge guard pretty well with that Patui, just trying to find those hits, but Rachel doing a great job at recovering through that Patui, able to get past this kind of poison cloud that the Piranha Plant can also spit out as well. Chris P was able to get a few kind of angles and some smash attacks there, but just wasn't able to close it out in the end. Rachel just playing that air very, very well, just knowing exactly where they have to land, and really just the movement and just control of the space in the map was very, very strong from Rachel here. We will see a little bit of a swap. Chris P going over to the Falco, trying to possibly match a little bit of his aerial power and the speed that the Jigglypuff does have.
That's exactly what Chris P's trying here, Ben. Falco says it himself. He personally prefers the air. And if you're going to contest the air that Jigglypuff patrols, certainly a character to potentially do it with is going to be Falco. But, you know, Falco, a character that also has an exploitable recovery, Ben. I mean, that's a character that Jigglypuff is going to have a field day edgeguarding. You can see Chris P already going for the extra high recoveries, does not want to deal with that scenario whatsoever, and just not able to swat this fly out of the air.
Yeah, Chris P finding themselves having to recover onto this map over and over again. Rachel doing a good job at keeping Chris P out of the center of this map and really having great stage control and presence. Chris P able to get that dodge there, avoiding a possible smash aerial. Now the down smash, not able to connect just yet. But Rachel only at 33% on this Jigglypuff, looking super, super strong to the 96 already on Chris P. The side smash coming through, won't be able to connect the shield just in time from this Falco.
Yeah, one of the most deceptive things about these characters that love to jump and float around is just how hard it is to hit them, right? I mean, when you're Falco, you have one of the biggest jumps in the game as far as distance. So a lot of times when you're trying to jump to contest this Jigglypuff, you have to do more of these like short hop rising aerials rather than these falling aerials, which can be much different, like to try to contest. And speaking of rising aerials, a beautifully paced back air. I mean, if you recover extra high one too many times, Ben, you can still get caught by this patrolling Jigglypuff. I mean, just look at the spacing from Rachel here on Northwest Cabarrus. I love what I'm seeing. So I can't wait to see if Central Tech's Chris P can control this airspace a little better with something like Falco up tilt. Because if you can't get this Jigglypuff to stop jumping around your space, she's just going to continue doing what she loves. And when you punish those landings with big moves like forward smash, that's going to be another big deal as well. Make sure you punish the Jigglypuff when she lands. Make sure you catch her with moves like up tilt. Whenever she gets to kind of be in your space, control these edge guards, control the pace of the match, you're going to be trying to pop this balloon that just doesn't want to go down.
Yeah, Rachel again still playing super, super strong in the air. The aerials, I mean, just keeping Chris P, forcing them to recover high. Again, the shield coming through. I mean, Rachel's just doing a great job at reading the movement and the recoveries that Chris P is going to be going for. Possibly reading that one again. Opted not to go high. Chris P using that side B, the little dash to get back just to the center low area of that map. Chris P just trying to find this edge guard, won't be able to do so. The grab coming through from Rachel as well. And now a possible string again. Rachel just barely not able to reach Chris P. The shield coming through, possibly saving a stock in that situation.
Yeah, Chris P is definitely beginning to develop a better strategy here. Does lose the stock there, unfortunately. But you can see him going for these smash attacks onto the Jigglypuff landing. If those are just slightly better spaced, that could spell disaster for the Jigglypuff here. And you could tell he's going for a lot of these really committal moves. You could replace these smash attacks with more tilt moves, more aerial moves, and that's going to contest that same space, but in a lot less committal of a way. And that's what I want to see Chris P do here on the Falco. Falco has much faster moves than Piranha Plant. You can contest this airspace less committally, but if you can land those committal moves like Falco up smash, you can take some very early stocks, and an even match here in game number 2.
Yeah, 36% on Chris P here, not terribly a whole lot, right? If they are able to put a string together, it'll practically even up this final stock in this second game of the second set.
Now we have an idea, Ben.
Chris P, yeah, but just doing a little jumps together here, not going too crazy just yet, just trying to read where everyone wants to go. The jumps coming through Rachel, closing the gap a little bit, trying to find these aerials. Won't be able to do so. The grab coming through from Chris P as well. Good job able to avoid and read that movement.
Yeah, a bit of a goofy strat coming out from Chris P here, but it's actually not bad at all. If you get that extra height that I was talking about, that Falco's jumps give you, and be careful with those roll-ins. It can be hard for Jigglypuff to commit all the jumps to jump up there and get you. Instead, she just has to stay on the ground and try to punish these landings. And be careful as you try to land on your opponent, because you're at high percents now, Chris P. Gonna have to go for the low recovery. High recovery is probably gonna come out here, and yeah, back air You can see Rachel's scouting out those high recoveries. You're going to want to be careful with those because another back air could spell disaster for Falco as you're trying to get these smash tags, which Rachel is just not committing on these aerial approaches. Look at this spacing, Ben. The perfect distance to not get grabbed by Falco. Going to get a little close for comfort there, and now these smash tags become a little bit more dangerous, especially if we land a few more lasers here from Chris P. This can be a dangerous situation to navigate for both characters. Another strong back air lands. What's going to be the option on the recovery? The low recovery this time, Ben. That's going to get you back to stage.
Yeah, Chris P able to get back to that stage and then find the toss on Rachel as well, trying to find that side smash. Again, Chris P playing with fire. I mean, both of these characters in a very dangerous position, right? Both in the red. Chris P able to find that side air. That will be the one to tie up this first set. Really good switch up and a good gameplay coming through from Chris P.
Yeah, and that's going to be 1-1 there for that set now. Cabarrus versus Chris P versus Rachel here. Falco versus Jigglypuff. I mean, what an exciting match that was. You know, Central Academy Tech, Northwest Cabarrus here, 1-1. Yeah, I'll talk about that landing a little bit there. That is the first time, Ben, that we saw in the falling back air coming out from Falco here. Certainly a very strong aerial in Falco's kit. And a lot of these landings from Central were more so like defensive, and this one was very aggressive. Like you go on for the down air in the past, and that move can be quite good for contesting, but this back air is going to net you that stock. And if you can land it, that's a great deal. Now, I'm curious to see if Rachel is going to scout that out and be able to shield that and punish it. Are we going to be able to continue to scout out these high recoveries? Get those. I really like Chris P's adaptations. You can actually tell that Chris P is thinking a lot during this match. We started out the game by going high on all of our recoveries. We started getting those scouted. We started going low. I think that saved Chris P a couple stocks here at the end because you could tell Rachel was going for those high recovery back airs onto the small battlefield platform, and then Falco's going low, so you can't cover that with the same option. And then, of course, you know, you're just trying to live there at the end there, trying to use Falco's high jumps to avoid these sort of aerial pressure that Jigglypuff is able to put on very, very well, and you're able to shield more, and you're able to try to land these smash attacks, and some of them worked, some of them didn't. So I'm curious to see in Game 3, are we going to be able to keep up this pressure on both sides? Who is going to play this game better? These two are very even players, and I think whoever is going to make the adaptations is going to take the set. As we already see a much faster start from Chris P, I really love that, as the pressure just does not relent from both sides. These two love their pressure, and it's just coming out in spades right now. Yeah, both players already off the bat able to find beautiful small aerial strings to build up some percentage, but Rachel, for the time being, winning out in the percentage battle, but Chris P able to find yet another one. Chris P has been off the stage quite a lot with this Falco, but when they are able to get Rachel off the stage on this Jigglypuff, the edge guards have been looking very, very strong. So if this Jigglypuff gets put off of this stage, Chris P is going to be in a very advantageous position, right? Because Jigglypuff, you can either go high, you go low, and you can only really do this kind of jump, slow descend that this Jigglypuff does have, but Chris P already in the danger zone, 104% to their name. Yeah, great point, Ben. I mean, with just Jigglypuff, she doesn't have a traditional recovery move. She only has her jumps. Her up B is her sing move. So when you're trying to recover versus this character like Falco, you have to choose these kind of really committal jumps that, like you said, descend very slow. That's free play for Falco. He can go for those aerials. He can go for those up tilts. He can go for those up smashes. And Jigglypuff awarded a lot of the same things. You see a low recovery from Chris P. You can only go one angle when you go that low, and Rachel's going to know it perfectly. A great neutral air coming out there. Going to go to the skies, but Chris P going to retaliate right away. That's exactly what I'm talking about, Ben. Right there, patrolling that airspace. Don't let Jigglypuff jump right in front of you, and don't let Jigglypuff get a edge guard going, Ben, because firebirding through that neutral air is not an easy task. Yeah, I mean, the Jigglypuff, Rachel almost able to put that stock away just big down air edge guard. Holy moly, Rachel able to come up huge with that rest coming through, able to find that second stock. That's exactly what I wanted to see, Ben. That's our first rest of tonight, and that's going to get an early stock from Rachel, able to get the combo there with the down air into the rest. That is doomsday right there. If you are the opponent now, you have to figure out a way to make this comeback happen, and you have to figure out a way to make it happen while staying on the stage, right? I mean, Rachel's just been forcing you off the stage so much of this match, like you said, Ben. I mean, staying on the stage in general is such a tall task, and now you have to do it while making a comeback. But if you're going to do it, I love this strategy from Chris P, just waiting out these defensive options. of Rachel and reading them accordingly. I love this pressure. We can see with the aggressive landings as well, not hesitant in throwing these smash tags either. One of these connecting could spell disaster. You could tell Rachel's already looking for another rest. A big stock here could mean that you don't have to play last hit as Jigglypuff, which can be a really big deal. And Crispy has to be careful with these roll-ins because Rachel could look for some rests there.
Yeah, Crispy trying to find the second stock with these high aerial smash attacks, but unable to do so just yet. Crispy just trying to avoid racking up too much percentage on this final stock in this final game of this first set. Rachel able to find that grab, 63%. Rachel is super low as well, 127%. Practically just any kind of basic attack will knock this Jigglypuff out, but Crispy struggling with finding that connection.
For sure, Ben. I mean, you only need like an aerial in this spot as Falco. We saw the back air do it in the last game, almost dying to a Falco grab here. I mean, Jigglypuff is not a heavy character by any means. A tech chase will do it. No tech there from Crispy is going to spell dash attack for Rachel, and Northwest Cabarrus is going to take it there. I mean, what a display there. I mean, wow. I mean, Jigglypuff play is solid there. Setting up for those tech chases is exactly what you need at those mid percents. You don't have to find a big smash tech. You don't have to find a big rest. Sometimes it's a tech chase like that, and that's going to do it. I believe that is going to be the series there, unless the schools are a little flip-flop. Sometimes that does indeed happen, but we will let you know shortly. But yeah, Ben, that was some good gameplay. I saw a lot of those adaptations from Crispy with those up smashes when Jigglypuff was trying to jump around. And I saw a lot of these options that looked really good. Some of the things that got Crispy in trouble is trying to rip these smash tags too early. When you were playing the aerial game, when you were throwing these less committal options out, it was hard for Jigglypuff to contest that space. I mean, your attacks have so much priority as Falco versus Jigglypuff's. Except when you end up off stage and now you're trying to trade with Jigglypuff aerials, and that's a really awkward spot. On stage, you're not going to trade. On stage, you're going to win. And that's what Crispy needed a little bit more of, but Rachel able to navigate that airspace very well, able to find the attacks when needed, and that was a great display.
Yeah, I believe we are running into a little bit of a tech problem. Northwest was able to get that first set under their belt, but we will be taking a short break to see if we can get everything settled here, so we'll be right back. Don't go anywhere. Welcome back, everybody. After some technical difficulties, we are back and ready to roll. Unfortunately, we were unable to get the rest of that last series on stream, but if we bring up the bracket, we have a turn of events. Central Academy Tech was able to pull off a reverse sweep, winning that series 2-1. Unfortunate that we were not able to get that one on stream, but hopefully in this grand final, we will be able to capture everything for you guys today. It will be Cabarrus Tech and Central Academy of Tech, two tech schools going at it here in the Super Smash Bros. Grand Final for the VESL playoffs here in this best of three. Avery, how are we feeling?
Yeah, I mean, the close best of three there in semifinals, like you said, Ben, and now moving into the grand finals, we're going to be moving on to a best of five. So Do keep in mind those individual sets are still going to be best of 3, but now you need 3 points in the series to win instead of just 2. So most teams here having 3 players, instead of that third player being used as the tiebreaker if your teams do end up going to the game 3, now that third player is mandatory in order to win the set. So you could win 3 in a row if all 3 of your players win their best of 3s, or beyond that third game, you have to send in a random player without knowing who the other team is going to send in. So we could see some strategy there coming in. Who are we going to send in for game 4, knowing we could go to a potential big game 5? I'm excited to see it, but without further ado, Ben, do you want to start this first game?
Let's hop right into the grand finals. It's going to be Jigglypuff on the side of Cabarrus Tech and Fox from Rachel coming through from Central Tech Academy. So Rachel switching things up just a little bit here.
How interesting, Ben. So instead of playing the Jigglypuff Ditto, Rachel here, as we saw in the semifinals, going for the Fox here. So, potentially could be different players on the same tag, but we'll go with what we see here at face value. We have Rachel here on the Fox for Central Tech. A great character and able to contest Jigglypuff in the air with those really fast, spacey aerials, but another character that can certainly be punished off stage by Jigglypuff. You can see these Fox recoveries already coming out and already getting in big trouble there, having to fire Fox there at the low angle. It can be similar to Falco. You either have to dash high or you have to go low, and if you're going to fall asleep, you can't go either because you're going off the stage, Ben.
Yeah, you can't really take a nap in the middle of a fight. Jigglypuff able to lock down that Sing, and Rachel, well, lost the stock for it. Now trying to answer back and not allowing this Jigglypuff to get too much extra credit. The aerial combo, the edge guards coming through from this Fox player. Won't opt to go too crazy off the map. Still, though, able to find good damage. The up air barely missing.
Yeah, ripping the kill options here on the Fox. You don't really want to go off stage as Fox. That can be dangerous. You don't want to accidentally get reverse edge guard here by Jigglypuff with a lot more options out there than you have. It's your job to really patrol the skies and win while you're on the stage. And so far, Ro is making that very difficult here from Cabarrus Tech. Just continue to control this airspace, getting the mix there. Not quite going for the rest, but going for the grab instead to catch that shield. And yeah, you just gotta try to find a hit here as Fox almost doesn't shield all of the Sing, but is able to get out of there and land an up smash there. That's why that Sing move can sometimes be kind of bad, because you have to land all the hits of it in order for them to actually fall asleep. But, this is really where the Jigglypuff thrives, when she can hold down this ledge.
Yeah, Rachel finding themselves at 101% to the 0 on the second stock. The side B into the recovery. Won't be able to find the ledge. The Fox unable to get back to safety. Bro now finds himself in a very, very advantageous position.
Yeah, this is a great spot for Cabarrus Tech, able to avoid these juggle scenarios as well, and just is able to continue up this pressure from above. I mean, Fox is not a heavy character in his own right. These two characters deceivingly similar in weight, so it doesn't take a lot of strong hits to kill this Fox, especially when you have to go for these recoveries, but is able to get the trade there on the Firefox, able to get out of that situation. But yeah, if Jigglypuff is able to get to the side of Fox there, or able to get that aerial out a little earlier, then you can get into big trouble trying to make those recoveries versus Jigglypuff, and that is going to be the win condition of Cabarrus Tech as we return to neutral. And the pressure just does not cease, Ben. Another back air, and as I said before, those back airs are such a consistent killing option from Jigglypuff. If you can land those back airs, that is going to be your strongest aerial for killing, and you can throw them out in the neutral like that. Keep your opponent in the corner. Keep them checked. When you put that back air at max range onto that Fox shield, he can't punish you for that.
Yeah.
He can try to rip up smash, but it's not going to connect. So if you can get those shield pokes, or those safe pokes rather, at that distance, and the opponent doesn't go for the shield there, they're just going to die. And the best thing they can do is shield it and wait for another opportunity. So that's what's called good pressure at the ledge, and that's going to earn you a game number 1.
Yeah, I mean, Bro doing a great job on the Jigglypuff, able to navigate the speed of this Fox with the speed of their own. Fox as well doing a great job of playing kind of this edge guard, unable to get back to the map in that one instance with the SD there. A little bit unfortunate for Fox, but that was also a very good edge guard play coming through from Jigglypuff as well. So it's really hard to get back on the map, especially starting low as Fox when there's a Jigglypuff sitting in the way, just floating there, waiting for you to arrive on a silver platter pretty much for that side air.
I mean, the thing is with recovering with Foxes, yeah, you have multiple options. You have your Illusion or you have your Firefox. And Firefox can go at many angles. You can angle it really freely. But the thing is, you still have to make it back to the ledge. So, like, even if you're going for these more creative angles to avoid Jigglypuff, you might just miss the ledge and you die anyways. And that's the difficult part about recovering with Fox. But no more recovering for Fox here. We are going to go with the Aegis here, the Pyra and Mythra here on Central Tech. So not going to opt for the Jigglypuff Ditto. But Ben, this is yet another character that can be easily edge-guarded by Jigglypuff.
Yeah, the Aegis is a stronger character in my eyes because there's a lot of things that you can do with this character. There's a lot of speed with this Mythra, but when you go over to the Pyra as well, it packs quite the punch with that flame sword and is very good at edge guarding themselves as well. We can already see the damage coming through. The Sing, however, does connect, and that will be the rest. That will be the first stock already off the board. Only 53% on this Jigglypuff, looking honestly, Jigglypuff is running the METROLINA division right now.
Ben.
Everyone is pulling out this character, and it has been looking super strong.
Yeah, you try to pull out the Aegis, try to get this range advantage over Jigglypuff, try to keep her out with your sword. But at the end of the day, if this Jigglypuff gets on top of you, it's going to spell big trouble. But if you're able to keep her at that Pyra sword distance like we just saw, Jigglypuff can explode at 90%, and that's going to be Aegis' win condition. Can you land these sword attacks while you're on this stage? Because Aegis is probably the best character in the game at controlling what happens on the stage. You have Mythra, one of the fastest characters in the game with some of the best frame data in the game, which is already a ridiculous combination if you didn't also have Pyra, who can score her those really strong kills. So a great character like Aegis, able to keep this Jigglypuff at bay if she can do so. But, I mean, Cabarrus Tech has been doing such an excellent job of navigating on Jigglypuff, getting around these sword hitboxes and getting their hits in when they count, making the edge guards count. Haven't seen it yet on the Aegis, but able to get back onto the stage. Doing a great job.
Bro doing a great job at avoiding that Pyra spinning sword there for that edge guard, but still Rachel getting a lot of percentage built up. Will lose that second stock, but still an 86% on this Jigglypuff. It's going to be hard to get back to the stage if Rachel plays it right, but able to go high. Rachel not able to connect on those finishing blows onto this Jigglypuff, and now is just trying to avoid the extra credit yet again that Bro is trying to go for. The Jigglypuff still somehow alive after that one.
Yeah, expert navigation here from Cabarrus Tech, able to avoid these hits that really count, and now you will die to most Pyra aerials. But yeah, if you get hit in the center of the stage, you're going to last a lot longer than you would if you got hit on the edge. So able to keep the stage control, and the edge guard as well. Pyra's not going to make that back, Ben. That's exactly the kind of hit you need to kill Pyra at the right percent of 50, and that's going to be a big stock there for Cabarrus Tech. That's going to put them up 1-0 in the series already. Like we said, that's going to be 1-0 now towards that best of 5. So Cabarrus Tech still needing 2 more best of 3s in their favor to take the Grands.
Yeah, I mean, Cabarrus Tech opening up very, very strong with that first set, a clean 2-0. Rachel trying to get this Aegis going, but just wasn't able to find that stage presence that this Jigglypuff was able to find with these aerials. The edge guards weren't able to connect with the Pyra as well, and on the other side, the Jigglypuff edge guards were picture perfect, honestly. They were very, very strong.
Yeah, I mean, and Jigglypuff has so much freedom off the stage. You can throw out an aerial, and it's not as committal with other characters. When you jump and use an aerial with a different character, you don't have a jump anymore. Jigglypuff has 4 more. So, yeah, just keep throwing them out. And if something trades, it doesn't have to win. Even if it trades, now Aegis or Fox or Piranha Plant or K-Rool, like all these characters that have these, like recoveries that die off of those really light taps, those characters are in big trouble out there. And although they're very strong characters that can patrol the stage very well, can make it so Jigglypuff has trouble getting what she wants. Once they're off stage, it can be big trouble. So we weren't able to see the stage control there come out from Central Academy of Tech, but the Jigglypuff, like you said, I mean, just absolutely pounding this region with this airspace. But yeah, it was still great Smash Bros. I mean, we were able to see a lot of great things come out from this Jigglypuff and a lot of the right ideas. We can see this Pyra going for a lot of these up smashes to try to contest out of the air, dash forward with some of those up smashes, and you're going to see a lot of success. So a lot of this comes down to positioning and more micromanaging of where your character is and where the opponent is, and not so much the decisions themselves. That's Smash Bros. It's a hard game.
Yeah, there is, watching you guys play, you are one of the members here for Shenandoah, and there's a lot of stuff that goes on, right? Because I was just learning that there you can jump like halfway if you hit like 2 buttons at the same
can.
time. I didn't even know that was a thing. So that, like, the combo strings that are available for a lot of these characters and just the mechanic intensiveness of this game is a lot more than you think. It's not just the A button to seal the deal again. We will now jump into the second set. It will be the Cloud versus Link here. I can only assume they are playing on that same tag because I do not believe this would be Rachel yet again. Not sure what member of Central Tech, or Cabarrus Tech, excuse me, this is.
Yeah, if you're not familiar with Super Smash Bros., if you're all playing on the same Switch, despite like changing your control set, you're all going to show up as the same name online. So that's just how playing on one Switch works. So although this is the same name that you see on your screen, it is going to be a different player. And if you remember Blaze from the last match, they played against a Joker player. And this is a very defensive Cloud that likes to get really bold at these kill percents with these forward smashes. So I'm curious to see how they play versus a character like Link, who can keep their distance much better than Joker.
Yeah, Link is a very good character at finding these boomerangs into these aerial forward attacks to try to find a lot of the starts of these combos. The up smash as well will connect, won't be able to find the kill, but the bomb will also connect from the Link. That is something about Link that I enjoy so much, is that the edge guard power that the bomb has is super, super strong, because that radius of that explosion is so large that it honestly is kind of deceiving of how big that range actually is.
Oh, it sure is, Ben. And when you're trying to edge guard a character like Cloud, sometimes you don't want to run up there and commit to an aerial, because he can go for those really bold plays where he goes down with his up B and tries to spike you for it. Link doesn't have to commit to those. He doesn't have to commit to a punish there on that forward smash either. He can rip his own forward smash from that range. Link's sword, also very long. Although he has these projectiles, he can also contest with Cloud in the sword game, and that's why this can be a pretty tricky matchup for Cloud. I mean, you can just see these combos. This Link definitely knows how to get their boomerang into name a move, because that is what Link does. He loves landing these two-piece combos that deal so much damage. Link is deceptively heavy, and he can certainly pack a punch while keeping his distance. And look at this beautiful distance play from this Link.
That bomb was in the game for quite a long time, just sitting on this map. Cloud able to find that finishing blow. Still, however, Rachel, this Link, was able to build up a lot of percentage on the tail end of that final stock, making this one going to be with the boomerang connecting as well. Link doing a great job at playing this range and playing this distance. The limit will connect, getting some percentage back onto this Link. The up air, the recovery coming through.
Oh.
Will be able to find that kill. I did not think that was going to kill just yet, but I guess they were high enough that they were able to find that one.
I love Town and City, Ben, and if you know anything about Town and City, those horizontal blast zones are narrow, and catching the no DI there with the creative mix-up of that up B, I mean, that was certainly not an option I was expecting there out of this Link player, but if you can catch someone slipping on a stage like this, they're going to go flying, and that's exactly going to be in the favor of Central Tech here. As they continue this onslaught here, Blaze just not able to get out of the disadvantage, tries to land with the finishing touch, but the Link is just always there with those up smashes. This is a no-fly zone. If you can catch those landings, you will succeed with Link.
Yeah, I mean, Link here just trying to find these recovery kills, but down the recovery from Blaze, able to connect there as well, but still on this final stock, 142%, and still the 87 and another full stock on the side of this Link. It is not looking likely that Blaze will be able to bring this one back, but hey, never say never. The limit up and available. If this one connects, it will not be able to do so. Not able to find that kill, and Link able to finish that one off with the spin to win there for Cabarrus Tech.
Wow, Ben, I mean, I don't know if you noticed, Ben, but I saw this Link do something that I have not yet seen another player do in this league, and that is expertly catch landings. You can see just how often this Link is directly below Cloud, and what a great spot to be in. That Cloud tries to land on you with attack, tries to land on you with no attack. It really doesn't make a difference. Link's going to rip up smash, rip up B like we just saw there, and both are very powerful killing moves. You try to land on that Link anywhere above 100, you're in big, big trouble.
Yeah.
And catching landings is so, so big in this game. And, you know, you play a slow character like Link, you have to position yourself in order to get underneath that opponent. So because Link was able to do that, that's the reason they won that game. You know, there's a lot of flashy combos. There's a lot of good edge guards going on here with Bomb. There's a lot of good positioning going on. The positioning I'm most impressed with is the catching of these landings. If we continue to see that, Blaze is going to have to land away from the opponent.
Yeah, and we will go back. We'll jump in to this second game of the set, but Link that up smash does a whole lot of damage if that connects all 3 swipes. So being able to read those landings is extremely beneficial for a character like Link. Now the bomb up in the air again. That edge guarding tool. The fun thing about Link, so he has this shield, right? I learned this recently, is that it will block projectiles if you just stand still, which I think is a very, very cool kind of niche mechanic that is really just, I mean, it kind of does a lot of work if you just stand still and you're just able to block every projectile coming your way. So Rachel able to do that one just a little bit there with these side B kind of waves coming through.
Yeah, and see, you're able to still keep pressure on this Cloud even while they're charging limit with moves like Arrow, with moves like Boomerang. And you don't have to commit to anything. And although Blaze is getting a lot of free limit here, they're not able to make anything happen with it. So a lot of this damage is actually going into Link's favor because you're trying to challenge this with Blade Beam, which is going to lose to Link's projectiles. And be careful here on Town and City as you try to go high. That's going to be too high of an up B, Ben. That's going to be an early SD as Link takes the first stock here in game number 2.
Yeah, the Link finding themselves still at around 97%. So if Blaze is able to get this one back in their favor without taking too much damage early on the tail end of this 3rd stock. Just trying to play this range yet again, the bomb blowing up, unable to catch Link in that blast radius. But yeah, Blaze just trying to charge up this limit now, but still just trying to play this range, the bomb down. Link closing the gap just a little bit here, but Blaze opting to play safe, trying to charge up this limit to finish off this first stock for this Link.
Yeah, and what's different about Link and Cloud is Cloud can't kill you off of these projectiles, whereas Link's bomb, it can certainly take some stocks. So although Cloud wants to play this range game because he doesn't want to run at this Link, you do have to eventually, when the timer runs out, who's ever in the lead will win the battle. And you're going to have to get in there, and does get in there with the forward smash there. That's going to be a plenty strong move to take the stock. And now you're allowed to play a little bit more range because you're not quite as worried about taking a stock anymore. Now we're in the gain damage phase of the match. But when Link is just slinging these projectiles at you, you don't want to play that game. Link is an expert at that game. You have to navigate this field that he puts out, and you have to find a way to hit him. And thus far, I mean, Central Tech is just beautifully executing this zoning gameplay.
Yeah, I mean, Rachel, this Link player is playing super, super well. Pretty much an entire stock up. If you look at the percentages here, not opting for that up air or that upward smash. The bomb out again. Will it go off? Not quite just yet. Trying to read that landing yet again, but not able to get that one on lock. 138% onto this Cloud. Still just trying to play this range game, trying to find this chip damage to grab coming through as well. I mean, if Blaze is able to get this Link up to a high percentage, even if they lose this stock, it is a good look, but that up smash able to connect from this Link is able to seal the deal and put Cloud to their final stock.
The range is just so big and it does so much damage. You really cannot land on Link, and Blaze is finding that out the hard way as we enter a last hit here onto Link. I mean, Blaze is enabled to get this damage, but is going to have to find another one of these smash attacks, and an excellent up air into up B. Going to deal massive damage here. Just great advantage state from Link here. Going to have to re-grab the ledge there, but the Link down smash doesn't quite connect. And you can see, even when you just land projectiles and some straight aerials, Link just deals so much damage. Another up B, Ben, that's going to be it.
The up B connecting from this Link yet again. I mean, Cabarrus Tech playing super, super well. The Link looking super clean as well. A little bit different from Brawl. I used to play Link a lot in Brawl on the Wii, so that chain grab isn't there. So it is a lot different because it does have that B. So it is very nice to see that character being played and having some success with that one. But yeah, I love to see the Link looking super, super strong yet again. I believe that is 2 sets now in favor of Central Cabarrus, if I'm not mistaken.
I believe that's 1-1.
1-1.
Because I believe that the Jigglypuff... It's a little confusing because Rachel did play Jigglypuff in the semifinal, but now they are playing Fox and Aegis in the grand final, but they did lose, and then Rachel won this game. Remember, 2 different players, a little confusing, now on Link. So I'm pretty sure that should be 1-1 now in terms of sets. So for you at home, let me do a summary here because us casters can get a little confused ourselves. The series is now 1-1. This is a best of 5. That means the first 3 points will win. Both sides now having 1 official point. So that means we're going to a game number 3 with the 3rd unique player on the roster. Ben, this is not a player that always plays. The best of 3 format, when it ends in 2-0, this player doesn't play. Talk to me some about that dynamic.
Yeah, having kind of that anchor position is something that is really nice to have. It's usually your strongest player to come back and hold down that anchor position, right? Being able to get those kills, someone that you know will be able to perform. So but sometimes not always getting that play is difficult because you don't get all that practice. We can see it's going to be a Bayonetta and a Jigglypuff yet again. Bayonetta trying to get these aerial combos underway, but this Jigglypuff yet again is playing super, super well.
Yeah, and Ben, this is the Rachel that we saw in the semifinals. I'm going to keep talking about this because it is a little confusing if you've never seen it before. Although we see the same name, this is the same Jigglypuff that we saw in the semifinals. And who better to put in this anchor position than the player that played in the 1 spot in the previous match. And we can already see that potent aerial game that Rachel has at their disposal. I mean, we can already see a character like Bayonetta, who loves to be in the air, who can contest that space, is already struggling. And these big aerial combos almost gets the down air into the rest. But we're not going to see an early second stock just yet, Ben. But I love this Jigglypuff play.
Yeah, the rest just barely missing. The shield through the jab will be able to keep them alive. And then that down air into that side air as well.
Oh, we're getting underneath PS2, Ben.
Both players going down. Bayonetta unable to reach the ledge. Rachel as well unable to get back into that position. And now Bayonetta does very, very well in the air, and getting out of those combos is a very important thing to do if you are this Jigglypuff.
And I mean, talk about the combos, Ben. Just look how much damage has already racked up onto this Bayonetta, and we're already into these down air combo percents from Jigglypuff. You can see the down airs coming out for Jigglypuff over and over, just trying to find these early mid-percent stocks, but accidentally does a sing, Ben, and that's going to spell disaster if Sam gets a lucky break here on Cabarrus Tech. Is going to enter into the final stock, but still very down on the count. Is able to get the high recovery there, but a tech chase going to push you right back off the other side, and Rachel is just scouting.
Rachel doing a good job of playing off of this edge. Sam trying to get a string put together, but unable to do so just yet. 127%. Any side error will pretty much knock this Bayonetta out of the map here. Rachel just needs to try to find it. The edge guard coming through now yet again. That'll be 152. The Bayonetta living a little bit longer than I thought she would have been able to after some of these aerials have been connecting, but able to stall a lot of time, but just unable to get any strings back in their favor. That will be the air in favor of Rachel. They're able to take that first game of the set.
All right, Central Tech pulling away here in series number 3, up 1-0 versus Sam, the Bayonetta player. I mean, what a performance once again. Bayonetta, not a character that you can edge guard as easily as some of these other characters that we've been discussing, Ben. But, I mean, even the second stock, we were able to find a beautiful underneath PS2 scramble, which can certainly happen versus a character like Bayonetta when you're trying to navigate wall jumps and, like, double jump cancels and these really fancy recovery options. When you get a character that can contest that, like Jigglypuff, now you're getting into these situations, all right, who actually knows what's going on underneath this stage? It turns out neither of them did. They both died. But that's the fun part, because as Jigglypuff, you're a stock up. You don't care what happens down there if you trade. And that's exactly what happened. You open up with these big percent combos to lead off the next stock. Now you force Bayonetta to play mid-percents versus you, and you're a stock up. Beautiful play here from Rachel and Central. I love this Jigglypuff, and Bayonetta's going to need to make some big adjustments if they want to take this set.
Yeah, that's something oftentimes that we see, like with these contests off stage, especially with like Ganondorf, if they're able to find that grab and they have that stock advantage. Losing that stock is not a bad thing whatsoever. Just to get one off the board, sure, you sacrifice one of your own, but it still puts you in the advantage, right? You're still up 2 stocks to 1 in that situation, and honestly, you take those, right? You still have the lead. Rachel, again, able to put together these aerial combos. Bayonetta struggling to try to get strings together. Rachel, the edge guard, is just playing super, super strong right now in the air.
I mean, Ben, normally you would say, you're struggling getting edge guard. You could try going high, but look how well Rachel covers high. You're going to have to show the low mix-up because Rachel has that high recovery scouted, and you're just getting bullied out there. The downer into the neutral air. I bet that's a remix you've never seen before. As Rachel just reinventing these Jigglypuff air games. I mean, if you can find a move that connects off of that downer, so be it. Doesn't matter how fancy it looks if it gets the job done. And you can see Sam here trying to go for these jabs to try to contest the Jigglypuff just floating in their space. But it is tough to do when you're constantly just under this amount of pressure.
Yeah, Rachel doing a great job at reading the movements that Sam is trying to go for. The down air, the side airs as well, 2 in a row. Looking super strong. I mean, Sam able to get out of the combos, but not before taking so much damage from this Jigglypuff. And really, the whole game for Sam right now is trying to just stay on the map. They aren't able to get any damage onto this Jigglypuff themselves.
Yeah, look at this tracking from Rachel. I mean, able to follow where this Bayonetta wants to go. That's Smash Bros. And it's a beautiful display to see here. You can just see trying to air dodge to the ground, but Rachel's just there with a back air. You're just there with a back air. You're trying to land on the platform. You're trying to land on the ground. There's just nowhere to go. Where are you supposed to go? The ledge? No, you don't want to deal with an edge guard scenario versus Jigglypuff. Try to witch time out of the pressure. I love that kind of option. Just make sure that this Jigglypuff stops in their tracks. But once you use up a witch time, now you don't really have another potent witch time to use for another little while. Now you have to play this neutral game versus a Jigglypuff that's up 2 stocks versus you, Ben. What do you do?
I mean, you have to go God mode, right? You have to try to find 2 stocks back to back to try to even this one up. 70% on the final stock for Sam. 118 on this first stock for this Jigglypuff. Unable to make the connections happen. Rachel, a good shield. The air coming through as well. I mean, this Jigglypuff is just looking super strong. Now the jab's able to connect. Won't be able to find the kill, however. Rachel staying alive.
Look at Rachel just tempting Sam to go out there for an edge guard, knowing full well they could reversal it. It's going to get hit by the down smash there. But I just love that little jump out there. Just like, hey, you should come get me right now.
Rachel now just trying to find this final stock. Does go down, but will not be a 3 stock. But Sam now has to try to make it back to the stage. Rachel trying to read the movements yet again.
I mean, wow, you're trying to contest the air with the fist, and man, another early stock to that back air. Just look at the spacing there from Rachel. You try to punish that back air, you're not going to. Yeah. It's at the very tip of Jigglypuff's leg, and that's what we talk about when we talk about spacing in Smash Bros. If you can hit them with the very edge of your move at the maximum distance possible, that can be a very difficult move to punish. And a safe move is what we call them, like Jigglypuff back air. You're not punishing it. You have to punish what comes after that. So sometimes you can not punish the back air itself, but like, where's Jigglypuff going to land after she goes for that back air? Then you can punish that kind of option. But that back air itself, it's such a safe poke. That's what we call it. And when you land those safe pokes on shield, nothing happens. You have to reset. Or you have to make a guess, like I just talked about. But when they do land, when you don't get the shield up in time, that's how you get stocks. And that's how a lot of high-level players will take stocks, is they go for a lot of these safe pokes until the opponent eventually makes a positional error where they can't quite get shield up, or they accidentally swing something committal during your safe move. That's how a lot of stocks taking at this high level of gameplay, off these tech chases, off of these pokes, rather than these big smash techs. The smash techs are slow, and you have to be in such a critical specific position to land them. The opponent has to do something wrong, essentially. They have to land in a bad spot. They have to be in a wrong airspace to get hit by a smash attack. When you die to these safe pokes and to these whiff punishes, to these tech chases, some of these higher level concepts that we're talking about, that's good Smash Bros. And sometimes you just have to wait to the next set and just play better is a hard phrase to say. But, I mean, you got to shake the opponent's hand and say, that was good. That was a good play, and I got to try something new next time.
Yeah, I mean, Rachel's been just doing a great job at keeping Sam off of the stage. Right?
Oh, beautiful job.
Has struggled with trying to find a lot of the momentum and the aerial prowess that Bayonetta can have if they are able to put some of these strings together. We've seen, I mean, we had our
what have you seen, Ben?
Well, I've seen a lot of crazy Bayonetta stuff. I believe last weekend we saw a Bayonetta coming through for one of our tournaments here, and it was like, yeah, I would not want to play against what that character can actually do because it is crazy impressive and crazy fast. I don't even know what I was looking at.
One of the strengths of Bayonetta is once she gets her combos started, you're just not allowed to leave. And you could see that coming out from the Jigglypuff as well, but a lot of the Jigglypuff things were like chases. Like, I know you're going to land here, so I'm going to throw out the hitbox here. With Bayonetta combos, you're just like, all right, you're going to get hit by not just one move, but like 4 to 5 moves, and you're not actually allowed to get out yet until like the 6th move, where you have to guess yes, and then you're having a fun time because you're already at the ceiling at this point. You're underneath PS2. You're in the magnifying glass off the horizontal blast zone. And in my very first tournament, Ben, I had to fight against a Bayonetta who loved to go off stage, and we would literally have fights in the magnifying glass where the picture like zooms in on the little circles. I got rolled, and that was not a fun experience for little beginner Smash Bros. Me. But we actually are going to see the Jigglypuff Ditto, Ben. Let me bring us back to the rule set here. We are now at a 2-1 lead for Central. That means we are sending in a random player into game number 4. And it makes perfect sense that Rachel would go in again, already warmed up and looking fantastic on this Jigglypuff. We saw Rachel in game number 1, right, not try the Jigglypuff Ditto. Now they are going to try it, Ben. What are your thoughts on this?
I mean, it's Jigglypuff versus Jigglypuff, right? Who can get the aerials first? Very similar game plans and game styles from these two players here on the side of Cabarrus Tech and Central Tech. You're going to see some of the same moves getting tossed out at the exact same time.
Yep.
So some parry potential possibly coming through from these two very, very familiar play styles. So whoever can really get that upper hand and get that aerial first is honestly going to come out with the victory most likely.
Yeah, that's a great point, Ben. And I mean, we're not going to see the same game plan coming out from these Jigglypuffs as we were versus other characters. Because Jigglypuff can't really gimp herself. She has to find these kind of strong aerials like we just saw right there and able to take these more honest stocks with things like back air and things like neutral air or even rest could come out. So we're seeing more like honest stocks rather than like, I'm going to run off stage and I'm going to make something happen out there. You're not going to see that versus a character like Jigglypuff that has so many jumps. But we're going to see those safe pokes like back air there. And this Jigglypuff Ditto is very even.
Yeah, I mean, bro, able to get a little bit of damage on the back end of that first stock. Rachel sitting still at a very comfortable 32%.
Look at them trying to pound each other and break each other's shields because they know they'll die instantly. I love that.
I mean, they're certainly giving it a go. They're trying to get these shield breaks, trying to get these chip damage with these back airs. But right now, Bro in a little bit of trouble. Rachel doing a great job at reading the movement that Bro is going for, trading some aerials back and forth.
Yeah, very slow faller is Jigglypuff, so if you can track her down with the airspeed that Jigglypuff does have to her disposal, you can certainly make her cry, and that's exactly what Rachel is doing right now. Is going to go off stage and find the neutral air, but sends the wrong direction. Going to take a little bit more than that. Tries to get a cheeky little sing off the ledge here, but Rachel going to avoid that one and almost dying to the back hit of neutral air. There's the strong hit, and that's going to do it. You can see if you can catch Jigglypuff off stage, that's going to be a big deal, and almost dying to the force smash there. Rachel was lucky that was a sour spot, as Bro already trying to catch these landings once more. I mean, Jigglypuff can be such a strong character, but she's also very light. So these hits are going to count. Yeah, there's another back air from Bro. Both these players definitely knowing what they need to take these stocks.
And talk to me about these sour spots that you just mentioned, because it looked like that was going to be a smash attack connecting with the stock being taken, but it didn't actually take the entire stock. Why is that?
I mean, that has to do with the timing of the move, right? I mean, that's so specific. We almost saw a down air rest spin. I had to take a little bit of a breather there. But if you don't hit it with the initial part of the forward smash, if you get hit with those like lingering hits, those like frames that happen after the strong hit, that's what's going to be called the sour spot, and that's going to be a weaker hit than what's called the sweet spot, and that's going to be the one that kills. And sweet spot and sour spots, those can be on aerials and smash attacks, and that has to do with both timing and positioning. So sometimes it's a timing thing, and that's what we saw there with that forward smash, and sometimes it's positioning, if you're too far away or too close. And those like really small details are what separates different levels of play. And speaking of the strong hit of forward smash, we're going to see it right there. You can see when you're right up close to Jigglypuff, and she gets right the initial part of the move, you're going to go flying.
Yeah, the Jigglypuff versus Jigglypuff, very intense gameplay in the air. A lot of jumps read through that gameplay, but I believe, does that tie things up? Or was that the first?
That was the first game of the Jigglypuff Ditto. Yep.
That was the first game of the Jigglypuff Ditto. I mean, there's been a lot of Smash Bros today. It's hard to really know where we are at in this grand finals. But what did we see in that matchup that you would like to see possibly switch up, possibly a character switch, or would you like to see this run back one more time?
I mean, wow, what a great question. I mean, I personally don't love watching Dittos. I think sometimes it can be a little hard to track what's exactly going on because a lot of these are going for the same thing. But if we are going to see the Ditto, so I'll go ahead and talk about that. If you're going to play the same character, you have to go in with a new strategy. And, you know, the thing is, it's hard to develop a new strategy because Jigglypuff's game plan can be kind of linear. So maybe one of these Jigglypuffs will go for more of a grounded style game where you can punish more of these landings rather than trying to contest Jigglypuff directly in the air. But as I say that, these players are definitely contesting each other in the air. These players love to jump, and I don't blame them, but jumping off stage is certainly going to be a dangerous game, as both these players have so many jumps, but also very strong aerials that can contest those jumps. And if you don't know what space you're allowed to be in, you're going to get hit by one of these strong back airs. But expert navigation, as we always see from these Jigglypuffs. And yeah, I mean, these two are just slinging at each other.
Yeah, Cabarrus trying to force this game 5, winning that first set, I believe, was Bro against Rachel here with this Ditto mirror picks coming through. But Bro finding themselves in a little bit of trouble here.
Oh,
Rachel able to
great
find
back air.
that back air, finding that kill already. But now Bro trying to play off the edge as well. They're just jumping together. It's so cute. I love it.
Yeah, it reminds me of a balloon battle from Mario Kart Wii. Just pop the balloons. But yeah, there's no projectiles here. They just slug at each other. And you can see Bro loves killing with these forward smashes. Jigglypuff does have to land in that space if she goes for those aerials there. So Bro knows that if you go for the forward smash there, you're going to win out. I mean, smash attacks are generally going to beat out those aerials if they're out early enough. And that's exactly what we're seeing in the shield poke as well from Bro. Excellent pressure. If you can land one of these pounds, get Jigglypuff to half shield, she's not going to want to shield anymore. She's going to have to eat a lot of these aerials, and that's exactly what we're seeing. And what we're seeing, Ben, is yet another down air rest, and that is one of Rachel's bread and butters. The brutal kill combo at mid percents that is in Jigglypuff's arsenal is that down air into down B. And although there are some ways out of it, it can be very tricky. So yeah, able to find the down air there, and you are in big trouble. Now Rachel with a massive lead. It might just take a rest to bring this back.
I believe that was the third rest that we've seen connect today. With all the Jigglypuff play that we have been able to see, Bro needs to try to find a response here to force this set number 5.
Yeah, look how much they're trading, Ben. Like when you're swinging at the same time, you get a lot of these trades. That's always going to favor the player that's in the lead. Because if you're dealing the same amount of damage to each other, obviously the player that's behind is going to die first. But no trade there. The back air is going to be correctly spaced there and able to take the stock. But now at 104, you're not really in danger of rest of these percents. You're looking more so to avoid these strong back airs, to avoid these smash attacks. And a strong back air is going to come out there. One bad swing is going to mean your demise there. And Rachel just patrolling that ledge there. I mean, that back air covers up so much space when you're at that ledge. Recovering back onto the stage, one of the most difficult things in Smash Bros.
Yep.
Because characters, so many characters, not just Jigglypuff, can cover all this space that you want to recover on. Like you can use back air to cover things like neutral get up, to cover things like get up attack, to cover things like jump. You can position it differently to cover roll. So like you have to notice your opponent's positioning and choose based off of it. And sometimes these aggressive options off ledge, like we just saw there from Bro, they can work. All right, stop pressuring me at this ledge. I'm attacking to get back. But Rachel drifts back, avoids that attack, gets the back air, and that's why that attack is risky, right? Because now you're getting sent back off the stage. You're probably holding the wrong direction, and that attack is going to lose you the game.
Yeah, both of these players are playing a little bit more aggressive off the edge of the map.
For sure.
And I like to kind of see that kind of aggression coming through with those safe pokes like you talked about, those back airs coming through. If you're able to find those, that'll do a lot of damage. That'll send a Jigglypuff flying pretty far off that edge. So I like the kind of adjustments and the more aggressive play styles that we are seeing as we go into this game 3 of this fourth set here. Could this be Central Tech coming through with the win, or Cabarrus Tech forcing this game 5? Bro switching over to the DK. What do we think about this?
What a bold pick, Ben. I mean, winning one game each in the Jigglypuff Ditto, but you did lose the second game. And I really like the switch now from Cabarrus, because now you've realized, all right, maybe Rachel has made those adaptations that they need to take this set. And oh, that's a bad air dodge, Ben. That's going to be the stock. And although you switched up the character, Rachel's going to be feeling very good about taking that early stock. And yeah, Central Tech, again, this is game point. So although I really like the switch, Ben, because, again, Rachel's probably... Oh, a big shield break, Ben! I want to talk about the switch, Ben, but now it's an even stock, and I feel like I can't talk about the switch. Now I have to talk about DK for Jigglypuff. Maybe we'll talk about it after the set. But yeah, I feel like this is a great switch, Ben. I feel like it makes a lot of sense. I'll talk to you about it why later.
I mean, the shield break coming through. Rachel.
Oh, no, another one! This is why he went DK, Ben. DK side B break shields. And Jigglypuff, again, is the only character in the game that instantly dies to a shield break. Nothing like 2 in a row to start off game number 3.
I don't even know what to think right now. This is
They were both at 0, Ben.
This is
Oh my gosh, he almost got a third one. Stop
that
shielding.
Oh! Dude! I just watch? Let's try to break that one down. That's just what? Side B, the headbutt, the shield breaks. That's 3.
Ben, are you familiar with DK Side B? Aptly named headbutt.
Well, now
Are you now?
I certainly am now. And
wow. Incredible. He just took the set off of that, by the way.
yeah, yep. That, I believe, forces a game 5.
It does. Wow. Okay. I will talk you through it, Ben. Okay, so a lot of things happened that set. And you might not think a lot of things happened. You might think Jigglypuff just got her shield broken 3 times. Let me tell you why Jigglypuff was shielding so much. It's because DK has these really powerful aerials that make you not want to jump. So now you're playing this more grounded game. And what happens when you play a more grounded game versus a character that has more range than you, namely Donkey Kong? Now you have to play this shield game to try to get DK to miss swing. So you're on the ground, you're trying to shield these big back airs, you're trying to shield these big forward airs. And all of a sudden, DK goes for side B. Side B pops your shield. And Jigglypuff, of course, at any percent, will instantly die to a shield break. Don't ask me why it's in the game, but it is. You go straight up. There's nothing Jigglypuff can do. Once your shield breaks, you die. And that's exactly what happened 3 times in a row. Again, you want to shield. You want to get away from those powerful DK attacks. And I do think that's why we saw the DK switch. You want to contest Jigglypuff more in the air. You want to really punish her for controlling that airspace. You got this big clapping up smash that kills it 70 on Jigglypuff.
Right.
I mean, massive move. I really see that coming out from the Donkey Kong. And, you know, we saw the advantages of Jigglypuff in this matchup with that early gimp onto Donkey Kong. I mean, Donkey Kong with a very exploitable recovery. But, I mean, just not able to win out the air-to-air game. Tries to play the ground game. Tries to play a more shielded neutral. And, I mean, 3 side Bs in a row. I mean, there's nothing else to say, Ben. That DK went in there with a game plan, and it worked.
Yeah, it worked like a charm, right? You have that SD early on. I was like, uh-oh, this DK might not work. But then as I kind of learned the tech throughout that last game there, that was an insane switch. The DK coming out, I think, was a genius play on the side of Cabarrus that will force a game 5.
It does.
So who knows where this one goes.
I assumed we're seeing this matchup, right? We saw this one earlier. And, I mean, if I'm Central Tech, I'm feeling so good. I mean, Cabarrus, by all means, you know, where do you go here from this cloud? You have to play a more aggressive game. Look at Link walking forward with this shield. That's an SD, Ben. Oh, that's an SD.
That is an unfortunate mishap from Blaze there on this cloud. The SD coming through. But Rachel, this Link player, able to really maneuver through that range that Blaze is trying to play with those short steps and then the shield to block that ranged ability. Rachel finding themselves at a very, very advantageous position right off the bat. I love this Link player, Ben. You can see before, this Link player was content to play distance versus cloud. And when you can make a neutral situation an advantageous situation, that's what makes a good player. And what this Link player is doing now is, instead of hanging back and being like, okay, I can hold this distance with cloud, I'm now walking forward with my shield, which you discussed earlier is such a great option to close space. And now that's an advantage state for me, because I'm getting close to this cloud and I'm beating him out in this boxing range. And look at the lead that is netted Central Tech here on this Link. This cloud knows they can't play distance anymore, or else this Link knows how to approach it. And when this Link also knows how to catch your landings so well, this is big trouble. Yeah, Rachel pulling up only 70% on this first stock. And this second stock is all but almost gone for Blaze here on this cloud. The boomerang will connect the raid. The range being played, the dodge in. Oh, that's a roll in up smash again will connect. A potential 3-stock coming through, unless Blaze has something else to say about that one. The recovery not being able to connect. So the sword arts kind of coming through from this cloud, able to connect and build up some more percentage here onto this Link. All right, so Ben, it's time to go back to the drawing board and go back to a more grounded game. Able to find the blade beam there, but you are not able to jump in versus this Link. He is catching your every landing. So you're going to have to play this ground game, and, you know, Link doesn't have access to something like a DK side B that can pop your shield. He has to safely poke you in a lot of these spots. So if you can get close with these shields, block these projectiles, force him to fight you up close. Although this Link has been winning in those spots, Cloud has a lot of options up there, and I think it's been a slightly better game than trying to beat him out in this distance war. As we already see, is working out much better for Blaze. I hope he keeps this up. Yeah, Blaze getting a lot more damage here onto the second stock early on. They can find this one and still be sitting at around a 50 to 60% here. it would be a winnable match coming through for Blaze.
Yeah, this is for sure winnable. I mean, we're still on Town and City, a stage that can take some very early stocks. Rachel just continuing to put on the pressure with this Link Central. Just such powerful advantage state on this Link. Knows how to make their hits count. Doesn't want to land into a limit Blade Beam there, though. Gonna survive. Not the cross slash, so it's going to have a little bit less strength on it. But now Cloud has to find a more honest stock, try to find one of these smash attacks, try to find a back air. Those are going to be your options to kill. Cross slash not going to do it without the limit. Limit now going to be on board, so those options are going to be available to you. But, oh, great shield pressure from the Cloud, but even better shield from the Link here from Central. That landing is going to be tough to get around, but is going to manage it. And yeah, surviving that situation, that's going to be a win for Central. Yeah, you deserve to win after surviving that kind of situation. That juggle was very disadvantageous for Link there. Able to find the grounds, able to find the roll in, and those roll ins have been getting brutalized by this Link up smash. If I'm Blaze here, there are certainly adaptations that can be made, but if you have another character to pull out, now is most certainly the time. I mean, this first set with the Link didn't go well. This set is going a little better, but still a lot to be learned here, and it's difficult, right? This Link is playing very good advantage state, playing very good to try to catch your landings, playing a very good ledge trap as well. It's hard to get back to the stage also. And I want to point out also, this Link is surviving very well.
Yeah.
You know, Cloud having access to some kill moves, but shield is a potent tool versus Cloud because his grab will never kill you. So he has to find a move that will land when Link is not shielding, and when this Link player from Central is very willing to shield, this Cloud is having a terrible time trying to kill them.
Yeah, and you have to think that maybe that SD really did a whole lot of work there, because this Cloud had a pretty good response coming into these later stocks, was able to bring 2 off the board of this Link, but already with that SD on the board. Link doing a great job again approaching with that shield, blocking the projectiles.
I mean, I would love to know if there's a coach from Central Tech that told this Link player to do that approach, because that is a really great idea, and that is working beautifully for them. Unfortunately, going to take a lot of damage for it that time, but I can tell you that that idea is very correct, and Rachel will definitely improve from doing those kind of approaches, forcing Blaze to not play that distance game. Although Link can play it a lot better, Blaze is certainly very comfortable in that spot, and you don't want this Cloud to be comfortable. As Blaze continues up with this distance game and is continuing to just sling these blade beams, let's see if the Link player from Central is going to continue to shield or perhaps try to apply some more pressure. And I think that's going to be the option we're going to go for as we continue to set up this wall, force Blaze to roll in. But, you know, those up smashes are just awaiting those rolls as these aerials are slinging. And that forward air connects. It's bad news bears. Oh, a great up B from Rachel, almost going to take the stock on Town and City. Has to go for the high recovery. Oh, you have to navigate such a great bomb field, Ben. But this is a very even game number 1. Or game number 3, rather.
Looking super, super strong here on this Cloud so far. The up smash will be able to connect, but won't find the kill just yet. The bomb deployed by Link will find the connection, but won't be able to find that kill just yet. Again, the bomb in a good position. The boomerang will be able to find that one. The edge guard coming through. Again, will connect, but still Blaze barely living. Oh, the uppie just barely misses.
No, Blaze can't quite find the smash attack, but it's going to be Central Tech who's going to find the smash attack first. And again, you know, that landing is just so difficult. Trying to land on this Link is just not going to happen, as this Link is just completely patrolling this stage right now at 150%. Again, gonna have to find this stock is Cabarrus Tech if they want to stay alive in this grand finals. Again, if this Link wins this here game, the series is going to be over and Central Tech will win the entire grand finals and move on to the next stage. Blaze needs to make something happen as he does have the limit now. Can they make a play with it? No. Rips the blade beam. Again, that shield is so powerful in these defensive scenarios. Finally gonna find a poke there on the down air.
The down air connecting. Blaze able to find that stock, but not before taking 66% on the tail end of Rachel's first stock. And like you said earlier at the break between this game here, Rachel's doing a great job at surviving, staying alive, and getting so much damage on the back end of a lot of these stocks. Blaze still trying to play this range yet again.
Yeah, the arrows aren't quite fast enough to break this blade beam. You either have to approach with the shield or you have to approach through the air. So, yeah, although you can throw things like boomerang maybe from above, those arrows are not going to contest it outright. So gonna have to find a new strategy there. Is Rachel. Great sharking here from Rachel on these up airs. Catches an air just with that dash attack. Oh, that was beautiful, Ben.
Yeah, Rachel able to find that angle, finding that dash attack to secure that second stock. Cabarrus Tech now finds them on potentially their final stock. But these cross flashes coming through from Blaze have been connecting. The edge guard looking super, super strong right now, but the platform just barely coming back to save the landing position for Rachel. Link staying alive.
The assist there from the Town City platform is certainly going to be thankful is Rachel. I mean, that platform can definitely come in clutch in some recovery scenarios. You can see they're challenging the forward smash from Cloud there with the Link neutral air. Certainly an option you do have. That Link neutral air has dumb amounts of priority, and it's a great approaching tool. So glad to see that move come out here from Central Tech as the rolls just are continually being caught. You can see Blaze starting to swing at a disadvantage stage. It's going to find the Blade Beam to find the landing of Central Tech. We're entering a last stock scenario here in this game number 2, Ben. Link versus Cloud here, and Cloud is not very far behind. This is very easily takeable for Cabarrus Tech.
Yeah, Blaze has been looking super, super good with these cross slashes coming through from this Cloud. We'll be able to connect that limit. Won't be able to find what I could only imagine was going to be an up smash potential coming through from Blaze. The roll
great
coming
coverage
through, but Rachel playing very, very smart, very, very in their element right now.
You can't get hit by another up smash, Ben. You have to be so careful on these landings. Don't swing wrong on Link's shield or you will eat an up smash or an up B. Ooh. That might do it as well on the Town and the City. That's going to do it off the side. Central Tech is going to take the set in this game number 2 here. Beautiful display from them. I mean, this series just going back and forth, Ben, but that is going to be all she wrote here. Central going to take it with the Link.
Yeah, we take a look now at the bracket real quick for the grand final. Central Academy of Tech will be able to take that one home 3-2, going the distance. I mean, Blaze, if that SD doesn't happen in that first game, maybe this is a different series. Maybe we're tied up 1-1 right now going into that final game for that set, but that miscalculation, the misplay coming through, very unfortunate for Cabarrus Tech. But overall, both teams played super, super well. I loved all the strategies and the adjustments coming through from a lot of these players to really bring back a lot of these sets.
Oh, yeah, absolutely. I mean, mistakes happen on both sides. That's Smash Bros. It's about who can capitalize on those mistakes. Can you continue that advantage state? Can you continue the opponent's disadvantage state in a way that makes their mistakes matter? That's what separates good from great Smash Bros. And that's going to separate the players that advance and the players that don't. Everyone's going to make mistakes. Who can exploit them the best? Who can make these adaptations that make the sets go in their favor? But that is going to be it for Ben and I. I hope you enjoyed this Super Smash Bros. Broadcast. I believe that might be it for us. I don't know if we're going to be continuing to cast the next stage of the bracket. I really hope we do. I've been enjoying watching the Smash Bros. Action, but at least for the playoff phase as this is, that is going to be it. Central Tech going to take the title there. So hope you've enjoyed some great Super Smash Bros. Gameplay. I've been Avery Geisman. This is Ben Kincaid, and we hope you have a great rest of your night, and we will see you next time.